Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'll be talking about ticker symbol SNDL, one of our favorite stock on this channel, SUNDIAL Growers. They have revealed and declared their earning for Q4 and 2020, and their earnings are available. They declared and they announced their earning before 20 minutes. I was able to find on this particular portal. When I looked into SUNDIAL, their website, I was not able to find their earning just available yet right there on their page. But however, I got access to their earning on this portal right here, and I'll be able to share more information about it. Now, before we go that looking into this earning, it has made, after our spike in the stock price, it went as high as $1.74, almost 13% up, and then it does seem like there is a legit profit booking that is happening, and it is a little bit down to $1.66 at the moment. The stock was closed at $1.54, which is in line with the market and what the Fed policy declared about 0%, making sure that the interest rate is not going to be spiking up anytime soon. That helped the market, that helped the other stocks, and that indeed helped SNDL. And we have seen sort of like the positive territory. As you can see, the stock was a bit down, but it went it sort of picked up and it went up all the way up to $1.57 and closed at $1.54. The earning, that is something that we have been looking for pretty closely. So let's just jump into the earning. SNDL, SUNDIAL reports full year and fourth quarter earning for 2020 financial and operation results. Now this make sure that this earning and this numbers are ending up until December 31st, 2020. We are already in March 2021, so it does seem like we're at the end of Q1, but this earning for Q4 2020. The company has completed the restructuring and eliminated $227 million aggregate principal amount of debt in 2020, which is one of the great thing because the debt was hurting the company has raised a lot more capital in 2020 and 2021, so the company has pile of cash on their hand. 60.4 million unrestricted cash that the company has on hand at the December 31st, 2020. But look at this, $719 million unrestricted cash on hand at the end of March 15, 2021, pretty much right now. The gross revenue for 2020 has been increased by 10% to $73.3 million in 2020 compared to prior year. Now look at their Q3 earning right here. Their Q3 earning was Q3 revenue was $12.87 million. Just to note that for Q4 the revenue was $13.9 million, which is 8% increase quarter over quarter compared to third quarter in 2020. Now looking at this, the company had a pretty good momentum given that there was a pandemic situation and other challenges, health related, so on and so forth. Their branded net cannabis sales increased by 75%. Total cannabis sales in 2020 from 20% in the previous year, which is one of the good thing as well. Their administrative costs were reduced by 18% in 2020, which is one of the big thing that we were talking about, how company can reduce their administrative, general and sales cost. Quite honestly, what analysts were looking for the 6 things, and this is one of the great article that we should look into. I looked into this article a day or a couple of days back, but 6 things to watch about. One thing is cash. So the company had a huge amount of capital raised in 2020, 2021, and look at it, like people were thinking about close to $600 million cash that the company had on hand. After, and in addition to that, they invested money in Indiva, a smaller company, I believe $21 million. They also announced that SNDL and SF Group announced a strategic partnership 50-50 where SNDL is going to invest $100 million. However, this falls into 2021 Q1, but just something to keep in mind. So cash on hand. Second thing was cost per gram, and they also have some challenges to reduce cost per gram right there, and profit margin that I'll talk in a second. In addition to that, impairment charges that we should also look into. Their general and administrative and selling cost that we should also look into, and in addition to that, their net revenue. Now looking at this results right here, they were able to reduce the cost by 18% in 2020. In my opinion, that's a huge improvement as to what the company was seeing challenges in the past. Their total sales, cannabis sales increased by 70 5% of total sales in 2020, which was 20% in the previous year. As I mentioned, that was also a good sign. The revenue increased by 10%. So all these numbers align with what analysts wanted to see based on the article that I just shared. Now, looking at their committed $58.9 million in fourth quarter 2020 and further $31.5 million in the subsequent year, and in strategic cannabis related portfolio investment that includes Indiva and other investments that SNDL is doing. In Q1, obviously they're spending $100 million in the partnership and the venture with SAF, and their generalized realized investment income and fees subsequent to year end is 9.3 million. So we will start seeing some improvement in 2021 because company has heavily started investing in all these things that I just talked about. Full year 2020 key financial matrix right here. There is a comparison compared to percentage of change in 2019. 10%, as I mentioned, in gross revenues to 73.3 million. Their net revenue was negative 4% to 60 million. Their gross margin also decreased, and because of the wider decrease in the industry, that up to some extent SNDL can control, so negative 46% to 9.1 million. As you can see, net loss, we were expecting some net loss, which is 12% delta, and their EBITDA is also delta of 15%. So this is some of the earning that analysts wanted to see. The company has performed, and we'll see what the analyst has to say when we look into it further tomorrow when we have the comparison. But adjusted gross margin before the inventory impairment and fair value adjustment for the year ending 2020, 31st of December, was 9.2 million compared to 16.9 million. The decrease in the gross margin was reduced pricing and shift to the higher cost product mix. What company can control is SG&A. So that is sales and general and administrative expenses that the company tried reducing as part of their initiative. The gross selling price is also a challenge per gram that I just discussed into the other article that was talking about that we should pay an attention. Right here, that is equivalent to $5.05 per gram in 2020, which was compared to 6.24 gram in the prior year, which is a result of wide price compression and a shift to value for the product. Now, looking at the average gross selling price for unbranded, that is $1.43 per gram. Now, revenue by format, here is the revenue by format, and it pretty much says the story as to where company is more productive and where the company is focusing on. So we should also consider that. And I was able to see vape categories, dried flower, oil, concentrates and edibles is some of the category that the company is investing in, and the revenue by brands is also available that I do not really want to go into more details because their top line numbers are very, very important than the breakdowns. Now, what I also want to suggest in addition is companies started investing money into additional other companies like a joint venture with SAF, Indiva, so on and so forth, and this is going to start paying off. Looking at the price, if you take a look at the price point right here, $1.54, the volume was still below the average volume, and that suggests that it is not really just a hype, as you can see right at the moment. And basically, if you see today's volume right now is in today's trading session is almost half than the average volume, so 220 million compared to 547 million, which is the average price. If you look at the overall volume for the stock went up, the volume went up from 242 million to 512 and 468, but today the volume dropped mostly because of there was a Fed meeting. Overall, people were waiting for probably the earning reports and whatnot, and that caused some of the lower volume. But if you take a look at the price has been starting from right here, $1.09 March 8, 119, 125, 131. So the stock is making higher lows. Now today's low was indeed lower than yesterday's low, but there is after hours pretty good momentum. The stock went as high as $1.75, I want to say, in the after hours, and then it got back down to $1.68, I want to say. So let's take a look. $1.67 right now, 9% up, went as high as $1.73. Once again, think like this is after hours, so if there is a little bit of a sell-off due to the legit or healthy profit booking, that might also impact the price of the stock. Now, looking at this chart right here, the chart looked pretty good, pretty positive momentum. The RSI is 37 for 1 day, which is a great RSI, mostly towards the oversold side. So that will help the stock to go up tomorrow. Once again, catalysts depends upon the overall market. We do not think that the bond yield and whatever the comment that Fed got concerned by the market. So the market was green today. We will see how it works out tomorrow. But this 37 RSI, in my opinion, is a pretty good RSI. Their MACD looks pretty good as well. The blue is almost right there, or about a little bit above in some of the cases right here. So the MACD looks pretty good as well. For 5-day, the stock's RSI is also pretty good in my opinion. It is 48 right now, which is once again balanced, not overbought, not oversold. MACD is looking pretty good as well. So the stock had a pretty good momentum. I wanted to share some of the information with regards to what we saw in terms of earning, what we have, what analysts were saying in terms of earning as well. Their merger and acquisition is also something that we should take into consideration, that will add more revenue, more profitability for the company that they have from this article. And this article is before the earning came out. So this article is from yesterday, where I was doing my research. I was able to come and see take a look at this article, and this are factored in this. What the analyst is trying to say here is it will be easy to get excited about the progress of any stuff about this company in general. Once again, it's a penny stock. It's a risky. We have invested heavily as well in the past, and it has turned out to be a pretty good investment. However, looking at the price prediction, I want to go back to this chart once again. Looking at this, so the stock is right now right here, and I saw that the stock had a pretty good, so next support will be $2.19. But let me see if I can pull the chart up right here. It doesn't let me click, but let me just refresh this page real quick, and we will be able to see. But what I wanted to get at in terms of this chart and the analysis is the next support for SNDL. So while the chart is loading, I wanted to see what this analyst has to say right here. It'll be easy to get excited about the progress of this, but we'll be able to make investment decision after the results released on Wednesday, which is today. The results have been released. Increase in revenue may not be all impressive if the company's cost program soared through the roof, which I honestly think it's not through the roof or anything along those lines. The positive news surrounding the acquisition may be something that we should consider. SUNDIAL is burning through more cash, which is okay because the company has more cash. Company will be able to invest in smaller company. You will have a well-rounded picture of where the business is, what is worth investing. I do believe that the company will have some potential spike in the stock price. Now, looking at this 1 month chart, I wanted to go back, and I'll change this chart to probably 1 minute to see what it shows. So let's go back right here. Now the stock is right here at $1.54. Now so the stock has let me go back to 1 hour chart once again, and let's see if it shows a better chart. But basically what I was trying to get at is the stock had a pretty good momentum. As you can see, the stock is around $1.54. Now if it crosses $1.83, and I don't have my brokerage account right now, but if it crosses that $1.86 mark, the next support level is $2.19 right here that you can see. It is pretty small to see, but I want to go here right here. So $2.19 will be the next support level. For some reason, this chart does not show. Maybe if I can go back to 1 minute chart and Hopefully it will show. But the next support level that I was able to find using RSI and some of my indicators with the Fibonacci, oh, right here, $2.20. So $2.19 to 20 cents will be the next support if the stocks break out through the $1.86 price point tomorrow or maybe later during the week. So there is a good potential if the stock crosses $1.86, the next support level or the next resistance, I want to say, is $2.19. So just keep that in mind. I wanted to share some of these updates, some of the exciting stuff that is going on around SNDL. The stock is up once again in the after hours. We will see some more volume, a bit more volatility. There might be some healthy profit booking as well, but keep an eye out. Now you have an opportunity to make informed decision. There is definitely some of the momentum that the company has. Company has more than 700 million on hand on 15th of March 2021. Their revenue outlook looks pretty much in green and in positive direction. Thank you all for watching. I'm not a financial advisor. Consider subscribing to my channel. Consider clicking the like button. I appreciate your support and help. See you in the next video.